We are on the new highway coming into Peak Hill and the gold mining experience. Peak Hill is a township between Dubbo and Parkes in central western New South Wales. In this part of New South Wales there are many old gold workings and also active mines. Tollingly, about 25 kilometres to the north, has a huge active open cut mine. The new highway actually passes over that mine site via a bridge. In 2019, Alkane, the mining company, did some exploratory drilling on the western side of the workings and found an inferred resource of 108,000 ounces of gold. The Peak Hill mine experience is currently held under an active mining lease. Peak Hill gold mine experience. A large open cut mine, been closed since about 2002 if I remember rightly. Afternoon, how you going? Yeah, really good. Thought I got you on camera. Right in front of us there, that is a can shaft of an old gold stamper factory. And normally have 5, and then sets of 5. Sometimes you see 2 set up, maybe 10. But that's the camshaft that actually raises and lowers or allows the plunges to fall, the pistons to fall and crush the ore containing the gold. And here we are. Yeah, we're going back to the 1890s. There were several batteries scattered around the Peak Hill in the 1890s. Now there are 5 pits. We will be looking at the 2 largest shortly, the main pit and also the Great Eastern Open Cut. A little bit of history there of mining operations throughout the last century or so. Paddy Nolan's house. He as you say, he had a miner's right, number 4262. And that's that one down there. There's a copy of it. And his house was just here. But basically, this is all remains of it. Classically a corrugated iron thing. And they carried the water from town, which is only perhaps not even a kilometre, just down the hill. Okay. Looks like they pick up a bit of the rubbish from it and just put in a bit of a horror. Something there. Anyway, we'll go for a bit. We'll walk up here from it to have a look at the open cut of the mine, which I think will be just here. There's a nice little schematic there showing the layout of the mine and what was there prior to the mining operation. The ore body is standing vertically, and as it goes deeper, it becomes more expensive to mine. Alkane, the mining company, resumed mining in 1996 after test drilling and shuttered operations in the main pit in 2001. So the workings we see there have taken only 5 years. Mining continued in satellite pits to a later date. Great Eastern Open Cut, mined from April 2000 to November 2001. It's rather interesting because if we look over here a little bit further, we can see where an entire wall has collapsed. Well, the massive rock sitting above a softer rock, and this caused this collapse. There was a survey mark on that big rock. Luckily, the surveyor wasn't found there at the time. A number around here, don't know what it is. Look at the number of rivets employed to make it. Today it simply would be welded.
It's amazing what people can do with their imagination.
Alluvial gold was found in drainage channels in 1889. Mining of the outcropping lode began in 1890. From 1904 to 1917, mining was a combination of open cut and underground.
Quite impressive. Huge.
The carts go up because of vandals. It sort of detracts from the experience. The rock must have been much harder than the surrounding rock to enable Aboriginals to sharpen their stone axes and other tools. Ideal spectacular formations. Some of the sandstone is so fine. Majestic caves. The caves had eroded through wind and water processes. The softer rock erodes first. John Oxley, one of our early explorers, travelled up the Yaminga Valley after his failed attempt to cross the Pilliga Forest in 1818. 1818 was only 5 years after the crossing of the Blue Mountains in 1813 by Blackstone, Wentworth and Lawson. Oxley finally made it to Port Macquarie on the coast. Plenty of spectacular formations here. Some of these sandstone is so fine, it is almost like talcum powder. The softer sandstone erades first. Here we can see a harder layer of sandstone overlaying the softer rock. Unbelievably fine.
Oh, okay, it's only 700 metres back to the car park.
A mob of organic lawnmowers, an Australian icon, more common than a Victor lawnmower. The Australia Telescope Compact Array. Okay, we're in a radio quiet zone here for obvious reasons, and seriously, a 3-person mobile phone inside made Wi-Fi test turned off. The radio telescope array is located about 25 kilometres west of Narrabri. It has 6 separate telescopes, which when used together form a giant telescope up to 6 kilometres across the dish. The idea of a huge telescope is to get a finer resolution. Only 5 are visible as the 6th one is about 3 kilometres away. They are mounted on east-west tracks for movement. There is a short north-south track. Each telescope can be aligned to an accuracy of 2 arc seconds. That is equivalent to the width of a finger seen 1 kilometre away. Equipment upgrades means that the telescope can pick up a mobile phone signal on Pluto. This would be regarded as a very strong signal. This is rather interesting and looking at read on a gay probe. The gravitational pull of our galaxy is tearing the clouds apart by tugging harder on their near side than on their far side, in the same way that the moon makes tides on Earth. Certainly a lot of esoteric information. I think it's best to let the information boards do the talking. You'll see it's a split or spit, it says there. We'll have a metal rendition of what's going on and cosmic zeros. I think we're all familiar with the spiral galaxy, but there's also an elliptical galaxy too. Gravity bends light. So I think we've realised that